So it's pretty clear, I'm assuming to all you guys it's clear at this point now that my content's been highly disrupted over the past week or so, and I haven't been spending all the time here in the shop as I need to. Fortunately, for people like Troy and Dave and Cassidy, hey Troy, we see you over there. I've got a crew that is absolutely phenomenal and dedicated and honest and loyal, and they've been able to kind of prop this place up while I've been running around all over everywhere, full of my distractions. Part of those distractions was a lot of trying to coordinate things because I tend to take on more plates than I can spin, so to speak. So because of the multiple things pulling me in multiple directions, some things work related, some things not, some things family related, some things not, some things politically related, some things not. Point being is, as me personally, I've been highly distracted around here, and I've been slipping a little bit. So what I've been doing today is trying to knock out some loose ends. Like I said, my guys have been handling things fantastic in my my emotional and mental absence. We've got a Mazda here torn apart. This one had a leaking evaporator core. Troy took care of that one. This one over here is done. We got to get it out. Dave had done a set of timing chains and a single camshaft. It had a wiped out camshaft on this Pentastar. Of course, it got all the lifters and rockers and whatnot. I was at the machine shop earlier today fetching this set of rebuilt cylinder heads for a Chevy 6.2. This one's going to be a beast of an engine. I'm going to build this thing to absolute perfection if I can. Well, within the confines of my own skill level. We've got double coiled valve springs in here. This is set up for a supercharger, or it will be. I've got the block over here. This is an all aluminum 6.2 liter GM, not the blowing up 6.2. This is the good one. Block's over here. It's all been prepped. We bored this thing out 5/1000ths of an inch over, not to get displacement out of it, but just to get nice, shiny, brand new, and reconditioned cylinder walls. You can't really bore these out very much because this is a sleeved block. There's a steel sleeve inserted into the aluminum casting here, and unfortunately GM didn't have these cylinder bores and their castings lined up that great, so there's on occasion there is some offset action with the cylinders. And when they bore those out, it tends to make some of the steel liners a little thinner on one side and a little thicker on the other side, just because bore alignment, it was not that great on some of these engines. So we only did this at 5/1000ths of an inch just to clean up the surface. I've got a new set of pistons, I think, in the box over there. We've got a Texas Speed camshaft set up for forced induction over here. When I get the rest of my parts in, we'll go ahead and begin the assembly series and the build series on this engine block. My guy wants to paint it black. I was trying to lean on him a little bit for some Chevy orange. I think Chevy orange would be fitting because it's an all black Tahoe with all black wheels, black tinted windows. So if we do it black, this thing's just gonna fade away into obscurity under the hood, and I kind of don't want that. I'd like to see some real nice Chevy orange out of it. I realized I just pointed at the trash when I said Chevy, sorry, but I was actually pointing at the glove. A good Chevy orange would be really nice. Anyway, in the theme and spirit of what I was saying, I'm running out of things to do per se because I've got 2 cars in the stall and I don't have anything coming in on the flat rack, and there's nothing outside right now that's suitable for that flat rack. So I'm gonna take a day and kind of do something for me. I've got a loose end on this truck. Actually, we'll do a follow-up on this truck. I did a major build series on this. It's got brand new everything. This is a brand new truck, a brand new 2007. And I need to do the follow-up. It's got about 6,000 miles on the brand new drivetrain. Past the break-in period, we've done a series of break-in engine oil changes. I'd like to see what's inside of a 6,000 mile transmission. Not gonna lie, I've been kind of flogging on this thing a little bit. I've abused it some because it's got about 650 horsepower and I've really been enjoying it. But I want to see how my transmission's doing. That's going to be a twofold type of deal because I've got another Go Fast performance part for it, and I think I want to install that today since I've got to pull the transmission pan off. It's been over here on my shelf for a very long time. It's a Banks Power Ram Air transmission transmission pan assembly. It's a deep pan, so it's going to add some extra fluid capacity. And it's got this little bolt-on scoop right here. So as we're traveling, that scoop can pull in some extra air, guide it over these heat sink fins right here, and pull heat out of the transmission fluid. Because as we know, heat is the #1 killer of transmissions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the Silverado up on the rack. We're gonna do the 5,000 mile inspection post the rebuild. So we're gonna take a look at everything underneath, see how it's all doing. We're gonna look for leaks, things like that. And then while it's apart, or while it's up in the air, we'll pull that pan off of it, inspect the interior for anything like damage or abnormal wear, and then we'll swap out with the Ram Air Banks transmission pan when we put it back together. All right, let's fire up this beast and get it on the rack. Troy's gonna guide me in right now. Dave's at lunch. Starting's the engine. So let's check our odometer. We haven't been here in a while. Let's see, I've got 5,847 miles on this thing since I first hit the key after the restart. And we get 11 miles a gallon, 35% oil life. Probably should do an oil change. The mileage, 252,854 on the odometer, 252,000, just over a quarter mil. Troy's waiting on me. I'm over here just hanging out. Let's get this thing up on. Oh, the door's open. Let's get her on the rack here. How we looking? Good looking? That sounded so good coming up the ramp there, didn't it? Let's go ahead, get onto the bonnet right here, pull our dipsticks up for reminders, and we'll get this thing up in the air for our inspection. There she is, beautimous. Uh-oh, got a dying battery. Oh, so much for those high-end AGMs. That thing's not great. Awesome, okay. Oh, you know what? You guys remember when I put all that coolant in there and I was dumping in some water and some super cheapo junk coolant? The reason I did that, let me show you, is I wanted to make sure I didn't use all of my really, really nice high-end Amsoil coolant. I bought a bunch of Amsoil coolant for this thing, but I didn't want to use it right away because I was afraid that there might be some leaks that develop, and a leak has developed. See that right there? That's all engine coolant running down the frame. It's been dripping from behind the shroud over there, and I found that the leak, you see the run marks. Let me get my oil light out. Stand by. Fire up the flashlight here. Available at rainmanauto.com. See the streaks right there? There is a pinhole in the weld. This is an all aluminum radiator. There's a pinhole in the weld right back there, and that pinhole is weeping coolant out very, very slowly, and it's running down the radiator and dripping off the frame right there. So I'm glad I didn't use the good coolant. And I know you guys did not appreciate me using garbage coolant and tap water on this right out of the gate, but I saved a couple $100 in coolant by not wasting it on that leaking radiator. I've got a warranty unit right over there in that box on the ground. We're gonna change that out one of these days. Probably pretty soon. I'm supposed to destroy that one and send the folks that built it a video or a picture of it. So I got a question. When I do this radiator swap, would you guys like to see a video on it? And if you would you like to see me do the destruction of this core warranty radiator? And if so, how would you like me to destroy it? I'm thinking skid steer. I mean, we could shoot at it, but I don't really want to discharge firearms on the internet. I can do that safely in a controlled range environment, but I don't think that would be climactic enough for a warranty part, especially since I'm going to send it back to the company for them to prove that it was destroyed as per the warranty agreement, because they sent me a new one, and it's cheaper for them to just have me ruin this than to send it back to them so then they can ruin it and throw it away, so they're just gonna have me do it. But yeah, how would you guys like to see me destroy this radiator if we do make that video? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you. Let's get her up in the air and do the undercarriage inspection, then we'll pull that pan down. Black subscribe button. Moving on up, 9,000 pounds of Chevrolet. All right, we're up top. I think I went a little high, but I'm a tall type of dude, I'll be all right. Let's set her down on the lock. Slowly, I always do them slow. I never just dump the valve and let it slam down on the locks. You go real slow, especially with big old trucks. All right, we are settled. take a look down below and see how she's working. Yep, here's our leak in a little bit more detail on the coolant. There's one of my transmission coolers. That's a PPE cooler, a little bit larger. I changed out the factory transmission hoses with these hydraulic lines with AN fittings on them. More reliable, easier to route, and since the entire cooling system in there is aftermarket, the factory units were going to pose something of a fitment problem, so I omitted them. Look at there. The sway bar is a little loose. You need to tighten that up. Okay. Looking good down here so far. Anything leaking? There's one. Got a leak at the front diff. Yeah, front diff's leaking a little bit. Okay. Banks oil cooler is not leaking. That's an upgraded oversized engine oil cooler. No leak there. That's good. Exhaust is looking good. Okay. I'm liking what I'm seeing right here so far. No oil leaks. That's fantastic. It's got a PPE oil pan. This is a similar pan to that Banks transmission pan, which will be going on right here. This is a rebuilt Allison 1000. I got this from American Transmission. It seems we have neglected to install the heat shield that goes here. Forgot something. Okay. There's the transfer case. That's looking good. Drive shaft still looking great. We did a one-piece aluminum drive shaft conversion on this truck. The factory setup was a two-piece drive shaft, and they had fatal flaws regarding the carrier bearing. There's the Banks rear diff cover. Getting a little dirty. Oh, are we leaking? Yeah, we're leaking a little bit. Where are we leaking from? That drain plug? I think it's leaking from the plug, not the cover. Yeah, see that right there? Okay. We need to pull that off one day too and inspect it. That cover's been on for a couple years and I haven't checked out the fluid condition. Okay. Got a fuel leak. I've known about this fuel leak. Something's leaking at one of the fittings up top. I need to drop the pan down, or the tank down to get to it. It's been on my to-do list, similar to the radiator and similar to this pan. Okay, so I'm pretty good with the overall condition after 5,000–6,000 miles on this. It's looking fantastic. Got a couple things to work out. Fuel leak, coolant leak, and let's get this trans pan set up. So I'm gonna go and fetch the oil drain. We're going to get a hold of, looks like we need 13 mil. It's gonna be super nice and easy. Yep, pull the perimeter bolts off, drop this unit right down. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, let's get after it here. So we've got a little drain plug right here. Oh, good, that fluid's looking great. Now this is the original fluid that came in with this transmission. I'm changing this out with some of my Amsoil stuff because it is a more heavy duty and robust fluid. All right, so while we're draining right there, pull some perimeter bolts out. I'm gonna need an extension. This gun is interfering with the pan. You notice the stream changes when this thing impacts. It's the vibrations traveling through the pan and into the fluid. Right there. Okay, extension applied. Okay, it's ready to come down here in a moment. Now I realize I could have saved this fluid and put it back, but like I said, I want to switch it out to the Amsoil, and I'm a little concerned because on occasion this transmission would like to, it flares a little bit before it shifts. It's an inconsistent flare, but it's been there, and I'm hoping a fluid upgrade will prevent that flare from occurring. That's where it feels like it's about to shift, and the RPM will go, and then it will shift real fast. It's not common, but it does happen occasionally. Okay. Hands down. Let's look inside. Any destruction? Nice, this is clean in here. Good, there's no metal. There's no debris. I see no clutch material in the fluid. That's a good report. I am super happy with that. Beautiful. Okay, so quick inspection of our wiring harnesses, valve body, and filter. This is all looking very nice. I don't see any debris lodged in that filter. Those are more of a screen really than a filter for large debris. But yeah, it's super clean in here, looking really good. Very nice. So next step, all we need to do is prep up that other pan, bolt it in position, and this upgrade is good to go. Okay, so our Banks Ram Air pan, we've got a nice convenient drain plug at the very bottom of the pan. The drain plug is equipped with its own O-ring integrated into the plug. This is stainless steel. So I'm going to thread this guy down, make it tight. We'll put the scoop thing on later on. I want to see it with the scoop. Sorry, first without the scoop and then with the scoop. So we'll install that after this is on the trans. Give this plug here a little bit of a love tap. Click. Good. Bottom side's got some cobwebs from sitting on my shelf, so we need to go ahead and blow this out. There's some hair in there. We don't want that inside of our transmission. Yeah, I need to blow this out. So one quick thing, I think this is a very cool feature that Gale Banks did when he engineered this, is he made sure that the heat sinks on this casting were in line with the heat sinks on the outside of the casting. So if we follow this plane right here, we'll notice that carries through. These heat sinks will carry through into the inside. That's to give a more direct metal-to-metal heat transfer path from the fluid to the pan to the outside air to ultimately cool down the fluid. I found that to be a very nice little feature. We've got another feature here in this particular pan. There is a fitting designed to accommodate a transmission fluid temperature sensor. That would be an aftermarket style sensor, not the original ones, or not one that the vehicle would be equipped with. That sensor would be utilized in conjunction with like the my Banks gauge panel set inside. So there's a similar provision on that pan for a temp probe. There happens to be one here on this PPE for engine oil temp right there. And one I am actually utilizing is the temperature probe right here for the rear differential temp on this other cover. There's my fluid. Fluid's good. Nice. Okay, loud noises, air pressure. Okay, next, before we install this thing, we need to plug up the bung hole. So we've got a little plug here for that bung hole, and that needs to go in because I do not have a temperature probe at this time to wire up to this pan. Maybe in the future I'll expand my gauge operation, but as of right now I don't need this. This was supplied with the Banks power transmission pan, and it comes with sealant already on it. Click. Say that's good. This pan setup also came with replacement stainless steel hardware. That way we can get rid of the old Crust-O-Matic fasteners. I believe that the replacements are slightly longer to accommodate the extra thickness on the flange of the pan, because this the old pan is a stamped steel pan, so that's super thin. The new one is aluminum, and it's a little bit thicker at the flange mounting point, so we've got to increase the length of the hardware. which is fantastic because I like nice new shiny hardware. So we've got pan coming in, gaskets hanging out on top. I got a new one. These are reusable, and I'm certain that the one that I took off was new because it's a rebuilt trans, but I elected to replace the gasket anyway, so I did. So what we'll do here, oh, this pan's heavier than I thought. It's got some gravity built into it. Gale Banks did not cheap out on the amount of material required. So I've got a bolt in that corner closest to you. There's one going in right now in the corner closest to me. Threading. Okay, it's threaded in. Oh, that's nice. I like the way that looks right there. Okay, so I'm going to use my 300 years of technician experience to thread these bolts using a power tool. You should never do this. You should always thread bolts in by hand. I'm literally showing you the wrong way to do it because this is how we cross thread things if we do not possess the appropriate amount of trigger control. You got to pay attention. Go. 4 more left, and those are going to happen back here out of sight, but I'll still talk to you guys while I'm doing it. I'll still hang out with you. We'll maintain the dialogue even though you can't see what I'm doing. 2 more. These go in the back right here, and 1 right there. Beautiful. Okay, let's get some torque on these guys. Look at that light glare back there is horrible. Let's go over here instead. Changing positions. Sorry for the vertigo. There, much more better. That's 2. Click. Clicks. I'm using my internal torque wrench today. There's a click, double click. There we go, beautiful. By the way, since we're doing something kind of boring, I want to take a second to offer a shout out to Kyle in Wisconsin. I have a note here to give a shout out to your Uncle Kyle in Wisconsin. He's a longtime subscriber. He said, thanks for being honest. Signed, a fellow truther, hashtag silent no more. Thank you, Kyle, for your message of support. Much appreciated, my friend, and shout out to you. I hope you have yourself a fantastic, blessed, wonderful day. And that applies to everyone else here as well. Have yourselves a great, great day and have a great life. Live your best. Time is not infinite on this world, and we need to make the best out of it because we do not know how long we are here for, and every day is a gift. Click. Okay, that is 1 Banks Power transmission pan installed. Beautiful, I like it. So this one's for the ground clearance people. So we've got, here's our lowest point here. Sorry for the glare there. Got a cross member here, and if we look at our pan, it's sitting just about flush with this cross member. It may be protruding about 3/8 of an inch, but it is not protruding past this cross member here. So we don't have a ground clearance problem due to that pan being in position. We're gonna have some extra fluid capacity in here and a whole lot of extra cooling. And that's great because it's hot here in Florida and I tow very heavy trailers. And heavy trailers create heat in your transmission. So this, even in itself, is actually a phenomenal type of design. This is going to provide extra cooling for the trans fluid, just as it is, just with the increased capacity and those heat sinks, and this thing being made out of aluminum as opposed to steel. But with the addition of this ram air scoop right here, this is plastic by the way, so if anything does hit it, it's going to break it off. But with the addition of this little scoop, I think that this thing could produce some serious cooling effect. Yeah, that's going to bolt on right there, and at the bottom there, that's how it's going to sit. It's going to be designed to pick up air as we travel down the road, collect it, and direct it right through these cooling fins. This is going to supercharge the cooling effect of that transmission pan. Very clever. This little scoop here comes with these little grommets. They're made out of plastic. Those are pretty much a shim just to accommodate the bolt right there. So what we shall do, get this thing in position. Got the bolt and the shim. There we go. One for the other side. Here's our shim and the bolt. Run that one in, and then of course the two in the back. Now, if Banks is warranting this, and I believe they are, if they're warranting this the way that they warranty the ram air scoops on the differential covers, then should you run into something and break this off, I believe that's covered under the warranty, even if you're out rock crawling or doing things of that nature. Let me show you the one in the rear. I'll let you know what I'm talking about here. So we've got the scoops for the diff cover, something similar. They scoop up the air moving forward and redirect it up over the fins. If you were to hit something and break this ear off, this ear is designed to break away before the cover breaks away. There's there's relief cuts in the aluminum right here, so this is the weak point, that little ear. If you were to break this ear off, you call up Banks Engineering or Banks Power, and they will send you a replacement cover to warranty the broken cover, even if you did it. So that's how much I believe that Gale believes in his products, and I would assume that that same warranty is going to apply on this guy right here. If you tear this thing off, I believe they will warranty it free of charge. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to get a phone call and they're going to be wondering why I'm offering free warranties on their products. I'm pretty sure I'm accurate in that assessment. That's what you get with integrity. You get confidence. And I know that Banks Power is a company of integrity. If you guys would like to explore the possibilities of installing such things on your vehicle, you can utilize my link in this video's description down below, which will take you to bankspower.com. And if you make purchases off of that link through my affiliate program with Banks Power, I would receive a commission personally for my efforts in assisting you with your aftermarket accessory purchases and decisions. So if you buy something from Banks Power, I get a cut if you use my link down below, and that will end my moment of shameless self-promotion. So now we can go ahead and get this pan out of here. We'll get our oil drain bucket out, and then we'll let her down and refill this thing. Hello, my dear.
Hello.
I see you lurking. What can I do for you?
Nothing.
I was talking. She didn't want to say anything. Yeah. Nothing, just hanging out? Just watching me? You need anything?
I don't need anything, though.
No?
I'm just watching.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get back to it then.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Okay, let's fetch the oil drain bucket. Get this guy out of here. We'll let her down, fill it up, fire it up. I'm thinking, you know else, while this is on the rack, I should probably get around to putting my running boards back on too. These things have not been on the truck and since I had the cab off, and I kind of miss them. It's a little naked without them. You guys want to stick around for the encore presentation? I'm gonna throw those running boards back on. We'll do that at the end though. Let's stay on topic. What do you say? Let's go ahead and let this bad unit down a little bit. But that looks mean from this angle. Look, you can see it. So if you know it's there, you know. Yeah, that's super mean. I like that. Nice. Okay, yeah. Involuntary gravity. I meant to do that. Okay. Let's get off the locks. Lock release. And you guys want to do it? Push the button. Yep. All right, here you go. Down we go. All right. Big truck coming down. Okay, so I've got 10 quarts transmission fluid in there. Let's let it come up to temp real quick. Let's check the level right now to see if we're high or low. Then we'll let it run, let it heat up, drive it, do a final check. Okay, dip and stick. There's tubes down there, it's hard to see from here. Give it a dip. It's tough to tell because of all the fluid running down the tube, but there is fluid in there. Let's let it settle for a while. We'll recheck it in a minute. So what we'll do, climb on in, cycle through the gears real quick. It's forward. Oh good, it moves. It moves. Neutral, back to drive, neutral, park. That's park. Wrong park, the P and the R got me. All right, let's go check the level again. Looking a little low down here in the middle of the cold. We want to bump it up. Let's do one more quart. Yeah, we'll do 1 quart and then leave it alone for a while, let it idle so we can refill it. Where's my funnel? There we go. I'm running low on my bags. I had 1 red bottle left and a couple bags. I'm running low on the bags. My BG guy is going to be super upset that I used Amsoil ATF because I usually buy all my ATF from my BG guy. It's also a very, very, very good fluid. I like good fluids. Poke the hole in it. Poke a hole in it. Get rid of that right there. Visual leak check. Yeah, nada. Here, let's make this thing heat up faster. We'll stick it in a high idle mode. Words. There's the high idle. Yep. Excellent. All right, it's warmish enough to give it a temp check, or a level check rather. Grab my gauge. Hello, we see you again. We're dipsticking. Here, hold that. Thank you, camera woman. Much appreciated. Hey. Yeah, what's that? Oh, that's my parts from Jesus. Got it, okay. Oh, I forgot what I was doing. The level's good. I'm happy with the level. I forgot what I was doing. Multiple distractions. Multiple. Alright, that's good for now. I'll have to recheck it after a test drive. But for now, it's good. Let's throw those running boards on. Back to the cabin. We'll shut her down. And then I've got to take the cab mount bolts down again. And that's what is utilized to hold the running boards up. Alrighty, we are back up in the air. I do believe that the transmission segment is finished. I need to drive it one time, make sure it goes through all the gears, get it up to speed, get some heat into it, and then we'll recheck it one more time, and it should be good. I may have to add half a quart or so, but I'm good with it the way it fits. Right now, we're gonna do the Encore presentation. I've got my old running boards here. They bolt on to the cab mounts, and I left them off when I put the cab back on way back when, simply because I didn't want them in the way, because I knew I was gonna be in and out working on things, and they kind of stick out some. But now we're gonna go ahead and take these cab mount bolts off again, 21 millimeter. We're gonna take all three loose and then sandwich that guy in onto the plate, and they bolt straight to this bracketry right here. Unclicks. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm unclicking the forward way. Bad, Ray. Okay. Next. You guys like my long socket? It's my favorite socket. Gravity. It's a real thing. There we go. Nice. Okay. Where's that one that fell? Way over there. Yeah, these mounts had to be replaced when the cab was off. These are, I think, polyurethane. The original ones were rubber, and they were super full of cracks and falling apart, so I had to replace them with new units. I think those are S&B cab mounts. There's the rubber. So I'm doing this without a Helpy Helper because my Helpy Helpers are all busy. So what I'm going to do is lift this up, get this like that, run that through, and then we'll bolt it right back up into the cab mount brackets up top. So this will be a little awkward at first, but it'll make sense in the end. Lift it up, thread it in. Once I get one started, we're good. Let it dangle. Take the big washer that goes on top. Find the thread it in, good. And then same procedure up front here. Up through the hole. Lift it up, thread it in. Nice. Here in the middle, we've got this little support bracket that I left on the cab. We need to take this bolt out because this bolt has to go through that little slot right there. So, come in here with an electron ratchet. Pull this thing through, then level the running board. We just have to lift it up some. It brings that into alignment. See that? Can't find the hole. There it is. There we go. There's our washer stack. Okay, so now take the gun, run the cab bolts down some until they stop. That's going to draw the running boards up into position. There we go. And the one in the rear. Now we need to align it a little bit, and I think let's go maybe in. Might have made those too tight. Sure did. Straighten this out now. We're going to do it kind of visually with our eyeballs. It looks like it's kind of sticking out a little bit in the rear, so let's just kind of push it in some. Yeah, I want the lines to be flush the whole way. That looks pretty good. That's where she goes. Okay. So next, let's tighten it up some one more time. That's the spot that I want it in. It's that back one. The spec on this is, I think, 180 foot-pounds of torque. But I've done 180 on these, and I had to torque them up because I kept getting like a clicking noise. So I'm gonna torque them to what I feel is pretty good. I'll do it by hand, not measuring. We're just gonna make them nice and super tight. And if I have to, I'll tighten them up again if it starts making clicky noises. You know, you guys may have noticed when I torque things, I do it open-handed like that. See that? The reason being, if you do it close-handed and your bolt breaks, or your socket slips off, you'll punch something, put a hole in your knuckles. You do it open-handed, it's not as bad. If you happen to punch something and you're not putting that kind of mental force into that forward motion, so doing it open-handed allows you to retract faster because the muscles for retraction have been activated by opening the hand. So you can still push, but you're faster to reply or react if you break your bolt, and if you're gonna hurt yourself, you can back away. So I always push like that, especially towards an object, open-handed. Keep the flanges safe. So anyway, let's get the one up in the front. That feels good. Click. Very nice. So now, all we're left with is this little guy right here. Let's make it tight. Click. Good to go. All right, one side is done. You've seen the procedure. This video is getting long. I've got one more to do. I'm gonna knock that out super quick, like test drive this, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, let's get this thing out of the shop. It's 4 p.m.ish and we are close enough. Oh, wonderful. I have my running boards back. Yay, it worked too. Fantastic. Nice. All right, restarting the engine. Let's get her backed on out. Honks for safety. Here we go. Right rear door is ajar. It's not a door, it's a jar. According to my truck, I think that's a door. Maybe it identifies as a jar. That's what it is. All right, fixed my jar problem. I gotta throw my tailgate back on, and we're gonna hit the road. I'm closing it up. So guys, the only thing I have left on this thing to do regarding today's project is drive it, recheck the fluid, and that's gonna be that. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. As always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this event. Let me know if you're considering buying one of those Banks Power transmission pan devices that I installed on this truck. They're available for some Fords and I think some Dodges, and I know they're available for the Allisons. I'm just curious to see if you guys have any interest in such things. So let me know in the comment section down below if that's something you'd ever consider. Market research and whatnot. Don't forget to engage that like and subscribe button. Actually, in fact, if you don't like anything I said, please engage the dislike and the unsubscribe button, because we've been in the midst of a massive channel purge the past couple of days, and I don't care, because I said what I had to say, and I'll say it again, and I'm going to keep on saying it, and I'm not going to stop saying it because I'm obligated to at this point. So guys, I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Have yourself an absolutely fantastic, remarkable, and blessed day. Thank you guys for watching one more time in a video, in a day, in a transmission, no pun intended. We're on our test drive here. I'm headed home. We're all done. Let's see here. What's this guy gonna do? He's gonna go ahead, bro. It's gonna shift. There we go. There's a nice clean shift. All right, so far so good. It shifts real nice. Yeah. Now I noticed on occasion I'd get that flare shift I told you guys about, and it would shudder sometimes too. So I'll be keeping an eye out for a shudder. I'm just curious to see if that fluid change had any effect whatsoever. Very curious. We'll get out on the big road and do a bit of a moderate throttle pull and see what it does. Stand by. All right, I just stopped and rechecked fluid level. We're all good to go here, so let's give some throttle. Nice smooth shift, I like that. Yep, it's feeling fantastic. I'm good with it. Fluid level's good. We're up to temp. Shift's nice, and I haven't felt that shudder yet. I'll let you guys know later on if it reappears, but I haven't felt the shudder. So it looks like the quality of fluid going into a unit actually may just matter. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. End of video again.